Hello and welcome to the RIOT's podcast of podcasts.
I hope everybody's having a great week as we just keep moving on through this one.
That's the answer, isn't it? Just keep moving on. You know, don't camp anywhere. You just got to keep
You can't stop
pushing.
for too long. That's when you'll sit down, and you can't do that.
You'll end up getting it back up.
So we're just going to continue through.
All right, so in the podcast today, we talk about how Burger King may now be the worst. Like, up until this point, they weren't. They could always look at Taco Bell. They might now be the worst.
No, but you know what? It made me think, and I don't think I share this on air, but it makes me sad to think about, like, items you think you shouldn't have to worry about in the fast food world.
Yeah.
Having potential problems you never thought could be.
Yeah.
So it just makes you sad of, like, how many times have I eaten at a place where something
terrible has been wrong with your food.
Going on and you just don't know.
Well, the other side of it is maybe take some comfort in that. Like, think about how amazing.
Through it?
Well, yeah. Like, think about how amazing your body is. Who the heck knows what terrible thing they've done to your food, and you're fine.
But what if that one time we were like, I got really sick? Well, it's for a really good reason.
You mean like that time we went and had Mexican and I was out for 2 days?
I think that was it.
And then that other time I went and had Mexican and was out for like 5 days?
Like, I think it's sad because then you just don't feel safe like you can go anywhere. But there's nothing else you can do. Nothing
has ever been as bad as the hot burrito incident.
Oh.
That was the worst. You were on vacation.
Yeah.
Jared was filling in. Oh gosh, the worst.
Yep.
The worst.
But we'll just let you guys hear about what happened to Burger King. It's fine. Well, it's not fine, but, you know, it's fine what we're saying.
You just take a trip down bad food memory lane and you get stuck there.
Yep, you just get worried.
Also on this podcast, Nikki really wants you to support Chris Pratt.
I do.
She feels like he really needs you. We also talk about the eating test, the Army's caffeine research, Christmas hashtags, and the return of staff lunch drama and getting triggered.
We'll see how that goes.
It's all in there, guys. You enjoy the podcast today. We'll look forward to talking to you.
Please make sure to say hello at RadioU Riot on Facebook. If you follow us there, you can message us or post any stories you might find if you want us to cover it and give you our thoughts on it, or if you just want to say hi.
And let's not forget Dens tomorrow on the show.
Yes, our new group on RadioU. We'll have a chance to see what they're doing.
We're looking forward to it.
Bye-bye.
And you should too. Bye.
Baby's crying. Nails on a chalkboard. Your girlfriend saying, we need to talk. The worst of the riot. Yep, it really is that bad. On RadioU.
Oh my gosh.
What?
I've got an email here that says the Memorial Day sale is almost over.
But we're way past Memorial Day.
Today is Wednesday, so it's been 9 days since Memorial Day, but this email says I have 18 hours and 52 minutes left to buy this refrigerator at a deep discount.
Now, I will say, over the weekend, I drove past an appliance super center.
Okay.
And I noticed they had a lot of banner stuff still out, and it was still for the Memorial Day sale. So maybe that just is known.
That wave?
Yeah, like once you put the banners up, it's good. You can make that one a little extended.
Okay. And who do you think sent me that email?
Maybe that same place.
Well, I know, but go ahead, take a stab. Who do you think sent me that email?
Would it be Best Buy?
It's Best Buy. Where is the, how do I get out of this?
The unsubscribe?
Yeah, here's what I love, too.
You in your gaming thing? You in this, too.
I know. They're like, hey.
I don't want your emails.
You know how you came in here and bought God of War a few weeks ago? How about a fridge to go with that? You got to keep your Mountain Dew in the fridge while you're playing your video games, right?
They really know how to go after you.
And here, don't forget, we're selling Doritos up by the cash register now. Mountain Dew and Doritos, video games, right, guys? Yeah.
That might not have been the official marketing, but...
And I've tried really hard to get off some of these mailing lists. PayPal. Another offender. They keep sending me emails. I have a PayPal account because you need one. And every day they offer me a credit card. So I've unsubscribed 14 times. Don't want the credit card. Don't want the credit card. So today their email is you've been selected for a special deal. Wow, again?
Technically, that's not the same, and you never unsubscribe from that one.
That's an award email. That's not a solicitation email.
I think it's hard because it feels like there's different variations, and they're playing word games, which is why you're unsubscribing from one list, but not all of them. It's a pain.
The thing that gets me is it must be working. They're not doing this because they're bored. They're doing it because
That's a marketing campaign.
it's working on some level, and that's the part that bothers me. So if we could all please stop clicking.
On any of the emails.
And I know what you're thinking. You're like, Obadiah, I don't even check my email. No. Some of you do.
They're still
Or
winning because
else
it's still
they
going
wouldn't do
there.
it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like somebody somewhere is doing this and it's working.
Well, we've learned that appliance sales go way past Memorial Day.
Way past Memorial Day.
And then that's led to the discussion of don't click on these emails, get off the list.
Man, I don't even know if the unsubscribe's hooked up to anything. It's like the thermostat in here. We push it up and down, nothing changes.
Unsubscribe, doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
The Riot with Obadiah.
Them honey buns and Cheetos done caught up with me.
The Riot with Nikki.
Yeah, she's a liar because I don't know her. So whatever she says is a lie. So
The Riot, Radio U.
I hope you're sitting down because I'm about to change your whole world. I'm just going to completely alter it. For years, 60 years, you've said IHOP. Let's go down to the IHOP. I mean, you hate yourself before and after, but let's go down to the
excited
IHOP.
going in because you're like, ooh, pancakes.
Oh, this is going to be the one. It's going to be great.
If you read some of the article, though, I don't know if this is an actual name change or if this is some sort of publicity stunt.
Everybody talk about us.
Yeah, like I'm just not entirely sure what they're planning on doing, but they say on June 11th they'll be announcing what could their change be.
Because they're going from IHOP to IHOB.
Which it makes you think like International House of Breakfast.
See, I was thinking bacon.
Bacon?
Yeah.
I think that's too... There's no difference between if you're being so specific with pancakes.
No, but see, here's what I think, though. I think them changing their name to IHOB, first off, it's not real. Because it'll last a week or whatever.
Yeah, that's what I still feel like that's a one-day thing, like a charity thing for that day. Or maybe you're right. Maybe it's bacon for the day.
And that's why I think it's bacon. Because it will be like, we're transforming our menu into bacon everything. Bacon pancakes, bacon waffles, bacon eggs, bacon Coca-Cola, stir sticks, coffee, like on and on and on and on.
It just seems not exactly like a total name change. So the company is not saying officially what the B stands for until June 11th. But they say we're serious about the quality of food in our menu, and the name change reflects that.
And the spokeswoman from the company is saying, this is not a joke. Which is exactly what she would say if it was a joke.
Yes, thank you for pointing that out.
That's what you would say, because obviously it's a joke, and they're like, nuh-uh.
Well, normally with a name change, you go something more different, and this isn't a big enough name change.
International House of Breakfast. Do you think if that's what it is and it's permanent, it's like, yeah, guys, when you said pancakes, I couldn't make the connection between pancakes and breakfast, and that has been the hole in your business model for 60 years.
The whole time, that's what the problem has been.
This is the thing that's held you back.
Well, it could be that maybe their menu won't reflect pancakes as much, so more just breakfast, and that does follow with their quote about the menu change.
Yep. Well, I guess we'll see. Good. I really hope it works out.
I'm putting money on breakfast and not for an exact, like a total name change.
See, I think if they change it to breakfast, it's permanent.
You think so?
Yeah, because it's one of those things that, yes, that feels permanent.
If you go with bacon, you think that's a one-day thing, charity.
No, it's like Baconalia at Denny's. It's just something you do, and then people show up and they're like, all right, I'll take the bacon shoved in the donut. And then they leave.
Shoved in the donut?
Well, just whatever they do. Maybe they lay it on top.
My favorite part of the worst of the riot, when they shut up and the music starts. It's the worst of the riot on Radio U.
Hey, while we're talking about food, let's talk about a race for the bottom. Who gets to be the worst? Now, Taco Bell has obviously long been the king of the worst.
I think you're hard on them. I think
you're easy on them.
I think if you don't go in, it's better.
You think so?
Like if you just see it through the drive-thru from a distance.
That's not it. It has nothing to do with that.
I think the reason I have a soft spot is the Taco Bell near me is getting renovated. But before then was not nice to look at.
Sure.
Again, if you go in. But everybody was so nice who worked there that you just get suckered into it.
Yeah, that high on their own supply probably.
They're just happy as can be, very genuinely nice.
they're probably laughing at you because they're
They're
like,
like, she believed it.
you're not going to believe what we put in her food. Oh, hi, ma'am. Please drive through.
It did not seem like that. But
Well,
the inside was just terrible.
Of course,
so.
it wouldn't seem like that. Mm-hmm. That's not the way it works.
No, like even we would always think the franchisee's owner would take a shift every so often. Mm-hmm. And since they had a now hiring sign, I don't know if that was by choice or
Okay.
if there was no one else to come in.
But in the middle of I guess what it comes down for me is like Taco Bell, whether they're nice or not, it's the worst because of the food. The food is the problem at Taco Bell. I mean, and the culture surrounding it, but it's fine. But, the other just terrible place to ever get food is Burger King. The difference is I actually like Burger King's burgers versus Taco Bell, where it's like,
It's just a preference. You don't like the food.
I need a cleanse. Let's go to Taco Bell. So Burger King, though, is unlike maybe you're getting good service at Taco Bell.
The service is terrible.
I've never gone to a Burger King and had good service.
It takes forever. They're always surprised at the order.
Yeah.
It's just very hard.
It's like, hello? Is this the mic's on? Oh, crap. We got another customer. Don't let him hear us say this. Get out there. Yeah, drive around. We'll make you something, whatever.
It's hard. It's hard to find a good place. Any fast food establishment, it's hard.
I kid you not. I went into a Burger King. My last Burger King trip, I went in. There were people behind the counter, like not right up by the registers, but like around. And I stood there for, 5 minutes probably. Several of them looked at me for a while and then just looked away. Like no one even spoke to me. Like that was it. They just were standing around and not good, Nikki. I just was like, well, I guess I'm not supposed to be in here.
Did you order or did you leave?
I left.
Well, okay, that's good then.
I left. Well, that's the Burger King experience, Nikki. And Burger King is back in the news. They're back in the news. This is in Delaware. There's a Burger King that they've got video of a bunch of rats seemingly trapped in the bags of buns.
First off, the bags of bun look wonderful because you're like, it's a bag of buns. And then you just see something moving around, and that's when it's not awesome.
The rats are running all over the buns.
So Delaware health officials have temporarily shut down a Burger King location on Friday because a resident posted a video. It looked like every so often if you go around a fast food place, they'll have food stacked up outside and stuff. It seemed like that was the case, or I don't know exactly where they were, but they had hamburger buns and there were rats running around the inside, stuck inside.
Now, to be clear, this is the state of Delaware.
Not
a city of Delaware. And oh my gosh, dude. To me, it's just a reminder that we're racing for the bottom. Like, Taco Bell has been the worst forever. And Burger King's just like, hey, guys, just to be clear, you got to have a king of the underworld, too.
Now, Burger King's saying, no way. The location in question is independently owned and operated. So they're saying that's not their bad.
Come on, man. Because that's what I always think. When I go to Burger King, I'm like, now, wait a minute, guys. Is this a franchise or is this a company store?
So rodent droppings were also found in other areas throughout the restaurant, near the ice machine, the water heater, the storage, and syrup storage boxes.
Great.
And they said that they had chewed through the plastic covering of the rolls as well.
Oh, yeah, because they were getting in there. You see a Burger King bun, what do you think?
They're
I'll have one.
They're eating.
That's
their time to eat.
Yeah.
So now they are required to undergo weekly pest service until the issue is eliminated. And this is just what you found out. Tons of restaurants across this good old United States that are not being found out yet.
Fantastic.
You should not eat anywhere.
Race for the bottom. How fast can we get down there?
Sure, the Riot could start eating healthy, or they could continue living happy, enjoyable lives. The Riot on Radio U.
This Burger King has really brought up a question for me, Nikki, and that's this.
What?
You're at home.
Yeah.
And you find a rat in the cupboard.
Which, okay, I'd freak out.
What do you do? Okay, once the rat's out, what happens next?
So if it's like in the cabinet or in a closet or something?
Let's say it's in the cabinet. It has somehow managed to work its way into... It has worked its way into that place where you keep all your appliances.
Well, that's my pantry now.
Mm-hmm.
I would If it was just me, I sometimes I would freak out for a second, but then I'd realize I got to do what I got to do.
No, look, it's
and
actually
then I would
it's not
move
the rat.
I'd give everything away.
I was going to say
or throw it out.
It's not the rat that's the problem.
It's the after thing.
Let's say the rat is taken care of, whether heroically by you or Eric or a neighbor or the force, I don't know, something. So it's gone, right?
The food has to go.
Okay.
I wouldn't feel comfortable.
But what about the appliances?
Yeah, especially, if he was walking over them.
Yeah.
I don't know if a good cleaning would be okay with that.
You don't feel like you could just get a little soap in there and just let it go?
It depends. It really depends.
Okay.
I'd have to see. I'd actually have to be in the moment.
Okay. So, but you wouldn't have to burn your house down.
No, it's not that. Well, if there's one, I
Then
feel like
there's
there's more. Like we have a problem.
That could be. I mean, like that's a possibility. But like I'm just wondering how deeply it would actually affect you. Because,
yeah, it'd be bad.
Because for me, like, okay, all right, what about this? Let's say it's your birthday.
Yeah.
And there's a birthday cake out. And you come in and you find a rat eating the cake.
Yeah.
But you haven't, like, it's just one little part of the cake.
And you can guarantee it's one little part?
Can you cut that part of the cake off and throw it away and then eat the rest of the cake?
No, I could not.
Are you sure?
Not a birthday cake, no.
Because, I mean, we don't, like, you can tell.
You can tell me that he only ate
the
part.
rest of the cake is
No.
unmolested.
He could have still walked over it gently and not left any little footprints.
Not possible. Like, that's not possible.
What if his fur brushed up against it?
Okay, so do we cut the outside ring of the cake?
Then you need to get a new cake.
Just get a new cake.
That's too much.
Because, I mean, obviously, if he's, like, snacking on your bag of Doritos, that bag's done.
Yes,
it's over. But, I mean, like a cake.
And it's hard, too. I would discriminate if it was a rat or a mouse. You know,
You would?
I would. I probably would.
You're that specious?
I think I would be. I don't know. When I saw the rats in the bag of the hamburger buns, it was just weird.
Yeah.
Just weird. But if it was a little tiny mouse, like, I don't know.
Okay.
I just don't know what I would do.
Is there any food? Okay, what about a wheel of cheese? Could you
then
cut that piece of the
my
wheel
bad.
off?
And I'm expecting them to eat that.
That just
was
happens?
the trap.
The rats eat the cheese?
Yes.
Okay.
So it's theirs anyways.
All right. So is there anything that is out there that a rat could be eating one part of it and you could cut that part off and you could still eat it?
Is this all the food I have left?
No. It's
the world
normal
ended?
today.
No, there's not.
So it's out. You're
You don't
throwing
need
it
to
all
share
out.
food with the rats.
You can't.
I
risk
can't even share
contamination.
anything. No, I cannot.
You can't share anything. Can't you just share?
It seems like that's what you're wanting me
Is
to
it
do.
that hard?
Do you want me to share with the rat? Because I don't want to.
Nikki, I'm just trying to explore the
And
space
if
here.
There's plenty of other food. I don't feel like I need to. So what do you expect of me?
Well, I also find myself wondering, like, okay, like, what if I find myself in a situation like that? What can I, meaning the Burger King thing.
Yeah.
Back to that. Like, can you ever eat at that Burger King again?
No.
Yeah, I don't
wouldn't
think
want
so
to.
either. Like, once you find that out.
But I think the real issue is we could find something out about all of our restaurants.
Maybe not. What if not? Like,
No,
what if?
we used to back in the day. You'd go up and look up the health code violations of the places, and man, it is.
Okay.
It's not pretty, and almost every place has those problems.
And we had some people that sent us health code violations for a Chinese buffet near us. Did you see those?
It's like, don't look.
Good.
Don't look. I think that rats and mice are the bottom of the problem when it comes to there's other issues that seems to be violations as well.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm glad we had this talk. Now
You understand?
I know what to throw away in the break room.
The worst of the riot has no expiration date. It's born spoiled. It's the riot on Radio U.
Did you see that Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, all the reviews are posting and stuff?
But it's not out for another week or two, right?
That's what I thought. I was like, man, seriously? Like,
Maybe it's international somewhere.
I don't know, but I took a look. The early reviews for Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom are out. And they're like, they're
Well, that's all we expect.
They're it was running
like B or C or A minus.
Well, when I looked at it last night, it was at a 68% on Rotten Tomatoes. But what I don't see now is that, I don't know if they've pulled it down or I'm just not looking in the right place, but I don't see the score being posted anymore.
Oh, maybe it did get taken down.
I could be. I don't really know. But I thought 68% seemed pretty good. I mean, the first one is kind of like I wouldn't say universally loved. That's probably not fair, but it was received pretty darn well, wasn't it?
I think so.
Jurassic World, what did that get on Rotten Tomatoes?
And again, it's not necessarily what critics thought of it, but it seemed like people, just the everyday moviegoer, liked it enough.
Okay, so here we go. Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, 65% on Rotten Tomatoes. And just straight up Jurassic World does not come up at all. Huh. Well, that's great. That's working. No, here we go. 71%. So that's about the same, right?
Yeah. So that's out here in the United States on the 22nd.
Yeah. So we're still 2.5 weeks away.
But I haven't pulled it might be available internationally, or they might be just fine. Some movies, if it's good enough, that seems like that score is good enough, they don't mind.
So, all right, I got a couple of quotes here for you if you want them. Entertainment Weekly says, Bryce Dallas Howard thankfully gets more to do than the last go-around. Fallen Kingdom is exactly the kind of escapist summer behemoth you want it to be. Okay. Hollywood Reporter, this is said to be the second film in a trilogy, but Fallen Kingdom's closing scene set an intent on something bigger, Planet of the Apes style, blah, blah, blah. The Village says, don't get too excited. Even that idea of dinosaurs in a mansion doesn't get explored. There are missed opportunities all over Fallen Kingdom. So,
I mean, as far as review goes, it's still not the worst. It's not bad.
So, I don't know. My thought is, again, if you're going to see Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, I think you know what you're in for.
You're just about right.
A lot of people running around, escaping dinosaurs.
Some very intense, stressful situations, and that's it.
I think that's kind of it. So, yeah, whatever. I was telling Nikki, I haven't used the Movie Pass in almost a month, so I got to get out there and start putting the Movie Pass down.
I liked the last Jurassic one, so I might see this one. We got to support Chris Pratt.
Oh, Nikki.
I'm not the only one saying that.
You're not?
No, I think a lot of people.
Eric saying that.
No,
you guys are at home holding hands.
Yeah.
You know what, honey? I really think we need to support Chris
Seems
Pratt.
like a nice guy, a nice actor. You have to support.
Okay, all right. Does it have anything to do with his biceps?
No, though they're impressive. He's just a very nice
pecs.
guy.
Well, he's nice, and so is all of him. Okay, all right. So apparently, everybody, Nikki wants you to support Chris Pratt. Go ahead and follow him.
It's just good if we do.
Okay.
Any Chris in the movie world.
So
I shouldn't say that. That's not a blanket statement.
But you don't feel like supporting Ocean's 8?
No, I don't think that looks good. I don't think it does. That looks pandering. I don't like it. I also didn't like the other ones, so I have
11, 12, and 13?
I have no attachment to that. I was never much of a Clooney fan, so I just had no attachment.
Okay.
Or who else was in all the other Oceans ones? Was it Matt Damon?
Yeah.
And George Clooney?
And Brad Pitt?
Brad Pitt, okay.
Yeah. So you're not feeling that, huh?
No. Just right. Chris Pratt.
Chris Pratt. So support Pratt. Pratt for president.
Well,
2020.
that sounds nice.
You like that?
That sounds good.
Nikki, you can get that started right now.
If not, he's fine in the movies.
Make America nice again.
Aww.
Pratt for president.
The Riot has a problem with authority.
It's a little rule. Maybe you're not familiar with it. Nobody tells me what to do, ever.
Okay, Nikki, I want to know. I know we've had this discussion before, and we haven't necessarily come to a conclusion, but I thought maybe
we can still talk about it.
Time has passed, and maybe things have changed. But, do you know when, whether it's on a calendar as in a specific date, or if it's a period in our life, or it's coming where we're not going to be tired all the time?
It'll never happen.
Do you know when that is?
It'll never, when we're dead.
Are you sure? That's it. When we're dead?
The eternal rest.
Okay.
But until then, still be tired. Doesn't matter what you take. Doesn't matter what you eat. When you get up or when you go to bed, you're always going to be tired.
I took a 2.5-hour nap yesterday.
You did? Oh, I'm so proud of you. He sometimes takes short naps, and I'm like,
Very
why
short
bother?
naps.
That's an amazing nap. And you're still, yeah, of course you slept too much. Your body's not used to it.
Last night I went to bed a little bit later than normal because I couldn't get to sleep.
Sure.
I did. Probably half an hour, 45 minutes later than normal.
That's still not bad.
Yeah, I know. And I'm just right now, all I can think about is everything in my day is nothing but a barrier to what I actually want.
Which is to go to sleep.
It's an obstacle to overcome, and that's just to go to sleep.
But then when you actually go to sleep, then you don't want to go to sleep anymore.
I don't know if that's true. Yesterday when I took that nap,
I mean bedtime sleep, not nap sleep.
It was a little weird. Like, I was the only one that was
napping at that time.
I'm gonna give you a little TMI. All right, I was the only one that was there, and I knew that no one was going to be back for hours. I took my clothes off like in the hallway, and like
Are you that tired?
I threw my phone and my wallet like on the floor and just like climbed into my bed. Now I can't understand why. Like, what was the psychological reasoning for that? Like,
you were ready for a really long nap.
Why didn't I just go inside, place my clothes where they'd be accessible? Now, granted, when I did wake up from that nap, I walked out the door, just put my clothes on, standing there in the hall, and was like, all right, I'm ready to go back to life, I guess. But like,
that's a lot to handle.
What does it mean?
What does it mean?
What does it mean?
Now, I'm actually going to take back the only time I feel like we've ever...
Take back what you've said about me?
Well, no, I feel like there is a time to feel rested and refreshed, and it's not when we're dead.
So on vacation?
When you take a vacation that's like two weeks, not a week, and this has rarely happened, but a week is not enough. You start to finally unwind.
Yep, that's right.
Because you're so wound up, and then you unwind, takes a few days, especially after traveling, takes even longer. Then you're there, and then you get a couple of days of actual relaxation where you can sleep and stuff.
Okay. So,
but you don't have that scheduled anytime soon. So until then, keep napping.
In fact, not scheduled at all.
Keep napping then.
Okay. All right. Well,
maybe not 2.5 hours long.
It was kind of long.
That is long.
It wasn't the plan. I actually thought, I was like, I'll only sleep for like 20 minutes and then I'll get back up and, whatever.
No, that seemed like you were ready and prepared to sleep a long time.
I know. But like my brain and my body were not communicating.
Did you work out yesterday?
No. Here's where I feel like I actually feel bad. I left and I was like, I have to go to the gym. I drove. Okay, listen to this. I drove towards the gym.
Yeah.
Just took a right turn, got something to eat, drove home and slept.
It's great. You made some choices. You made some different choices.
I don't even feel like I actually made the choices.
Your body
I feel like I just did it. And when I
Oh.
got done, I was like, I'm so embarrassed.
Yeah, but your body was speaking to you.
I guess so.
And it was saying something, and it was important.
It's still communicating with me now.
That you want to go take a nap?
Do you want to know what it's saying?
Go back and do the same thing today?
Starting your day with the worst of the riot is a great idea because it's guaranteed to get better from here. It's The Riot on Radio U.
All right, Nikki, are you ready to revolutionize your experience with food?
Yeah,
your
and
relationship
when are we
with
hungry
food?
and when are we not hungry?
Yeah, so you had a great idea. You know, sometimes if you think you're hungry, you just drink water.
I can't stand when people
you're
say
actually
that.
thirsty.
They always say, try drinking water. Maybe you are thirsty and it's dehydration and not hunger pains.
Mm-hmm. So I've experienced that thing where they're like, are you bored eating? Is that what's happening? You're eating because you're bored?
No, we're not bored eating. We're having a great time.
I'm having a lot of fun. Thanks.
Thanks so much.
All right. Well, here's what Dr. Meg Errol thinks. She's a psychologist, and she says that emotional eating can disrupt hunger signals. So here's what happens. You're bored or you're feeling a little down or whatever it is, and you eat. And sometimes you don't even know that you're emotional eating. You just are.
You're just eating.
The problem then is that your body hasn't had a chance to actually get hungry. So now you don't even know what it's like to be really hungry, which to me sounds like we're now making things up. But it's like, hey, no. I know
I am
what it's
hungry.
like to be hungry. Get out of the way. So here's what she says is the ultimate test for you to be able to tell.
Am I supposed to wait till the next day? Is this like when I want to make a purchase?
No. Sleep on it. And if you wake up, you're probably hungry.
Then I need to eat.
That's not it, Nikki. Here's what she says. She says, if you are hungry enough to eat a plate of broccoli,
then you're supposed to eat your veggies first. That's smart.
She says to visualize broccoli. And if you can visualize broccoli and you're still hungry, then you're probably hungry.
I don't mind broccoli. I don't think that one's right for me.
And I can totally vouch for this because last night I was hungry. And I was like, yeah, but are you hungry? And I had just been getting ready for the show. And so I visualized a plate of broccoli. And I was like, yeah, I would totally eat that now. So I had that Klondike bar.
Because you were hungry.
Because
you did what she said.
I was hungry.
Yeah.
She didn't say I had to eat a plate of broccoli. She said that I had to visualize the broccoli and figure out whether I was actually hungry.
I see what she's trying to do, but I could see I think we found the loophole or the problem with it.
Yeah.
Man, did you really have a Klondike bar?
I actually had a bite of somebody else's, but it was good.
Sounds delicious.
It was a caramel Klondike bar.
Doesn't sound refreshing because it's cold.
Almost like a York peppermint patty. That's something else I can visualize myself eating right now.
Yep, and so that means we're hungry.
I must be hungry.
We are.
So if I visualize a plate full of York peppermint patties and I can see myself eating them, then I must be hungry.
Thanks, lady. You've really fixed us now.
This visualization technique that you're teaching me.
I could see everybody loving this.
I think the broccoli is a really important part of it.
Yeah.
I think it's a
Lately,
key
I got a
component.
Swiss Gruyere cheese mix, and I've been putting that on broccoli, and it's been really good.
I bet that's delicious.
It's really good. Broccoli problem solved.
You know what else is good with broccoli? You air fry it.
Yeah, I haven't got an air fryer yet.
I thought your oven does that or something.
I haven't found the page in the book to really get it. So all my broccoli's frozen, and I don't think you can air fry from frozen.
Oh,
no,
friend. Listen, you should come over. Me and some of the other people in the neighborhood. Everybody brings their own apron and their own air fryer, and we just do recipes.
Okay, well, I would like that actually. Does anybody have an air fryer?
You just put a little bit. I like to put a little bit of oil in there, some garlic salt. You shake it up really good. Put it in there. It gets crispy.
Is it crispy like fries? Because that's what I'm really looking for.
Well, I mean, we're eating Klondike bars while we wait, so it'll be fine.
The Riot sees gas station hot dogs as part of a balanced breakfast.
Is that bad?
Well, not good.
It's the Riot on RadioU.
Coffee is important. So is the United States Army, I think. So how do we have these two things together? Look, the Army's got all kinds of stuff going. It's not just boot camp and drones, okay? Or green stuff.
I'm sure they should get very good coffee.
I'm sure they
do. Or you would hope they would.
Well, get a load of this, Nikki. A research center in the United States Army has come up with a little something, and they have published their research in the Journal of Sleep Research. This guy's name is Jacques Reifman, and he works for the Department of Defense, and here's what he has done. He has designed an algorithm for the right amount of caffeine at the right time.
Really?
And so here's the idea. Using a test, which they call the Psychometer Vigilance Tasks Test. I don't know what you do, but you do.
They'll know that.
But it's a test that they use to
figure out when is the best?
Alertness. Like it tests alertness. And so he is developing this algorithm, or has developed it, and they say that the Army is interested in turning it into an app in which you will use this app, I guess, across a couple of days. Now, keep in mind, this doesn't exist yet. The algorithm does, but the software does not. But he says that he has developed this algorithm to figure out, and it can be tuned to individuals, when you need caffeine to stay the most alert. And so he says that he can make you up to 65% more alert, but with 60% less caffeine. So it has more to do with getting caffeine at the right moment than it does with consuming large quantities of it.
You could be starting to drink it at like 6 a.m. when maybe you need it, but say you keep drinking it at 9 or 10, or you're having it at times, you're filling up on it when you're already fine caffeine wise.
Right. So he might say like, okay, you need coffee at 6, and then you're going to have it again at 10:30, and you're like,
that's
well,
it.
That's ridiculous. And you're like, no, 10:30, then again at 1. And then you're done, or whatever. So that's the idea behind this, is that, and he says that it's less. It's almost always less than people think. So you're like, man, I need 4 cups of coffee. I like to get a 16 ounce with 4 shots of espresso or whatever.
Sure.
And he would say, no. You're doing it wrong.
You're just not having it at the right time.
A specific way that we can tune your caffeine intake to get maximum alertness.
Which would be an amazing name for coffee.
Maximum alertness?
Yes.
Alert Max?
Something.
How about Max Alert?
That also sounds medical or something.
Riot Max Alert Coffee. It's probably, it already exists.
I'm sure it's something.
Somebody out there is already doing it. In fact, that wouldn't even sell that well, because people are like, no. I want that death by coffee stuff.
I want death alert.
I want so much that I'm almost dead after I drink it.
Doesn't sound intense enough.
Then it's almost enough.
We thought about selling the worst of the Riot, but let's be honest, no one is buying this stuff. Get it for free on the RadioU app.
Look, hoverboards were so 3 years ago when you wanted to burn down your house, but you didn't have an arsonist for a friend. Okay, that was their time.
Don't know if that was the official tagline or description of those boards, but every so often I still see someone riding one.
Don't you feel like they're way out? Maybe it's me, so go ahead and get insulted, I guess. But I just look at them and I'm like, bro, what is it, 2015?
No,
like, you're still riding that hoverboard?
I don't know. Like, if you bought one, the problem was if you bought one that was, well, any price range, they could catch on fire with the charging stuff and the battery.
That was the big issue. Well, hoverboards have had what I feel like is
a rise and fall.
Which is why the market is ripe for the next round of hover shoes. So here's the idea. This Chinese company has developed these in-motion hover shoes X1. And basically what it is a hoverboard for each foot. So you've got 2 individual hoverboards, one for each foot, and you are going to end up hurting yourself so badly on these. Think about it. If your legs, for some reason, get pointed in the wrong direction and they both go in opposite directions,
you would be injured.
You're falling.
Yeah.
That's it. You're done. This seems like a great way to get hurt. I mean, the hoverboard itself.
Which seems just perfect, doesn't it?
Kind of, yeah.
I mean, all that stuff is.
So, and let's go ahead and give you some quotes from the CEO. What's cool about them is that each one is self-balancing on its own. So the rider won't run into an issue where one foot dictates the movement of the other because they're hinged with a bridge. Hover Shoes X1 are easier to learn and safer than hoverboards and a lot more fun. How are they safer? Like, I get it. And to be clear, like, if you want a hoverboard, like, whatever, dude, just get one that won't blow up. But like, if that's your thing, go for it. But I just feel like these individualized ones would be so much easier to get hurt on than an actual hoverboard.
So it's the Hover Shoes X1, you said?
The Hover Shoes X1. Each one is a 250-watt motor. Oh, they carry a maximum weight of 176 pounds.
Really? Okay, a lot of people are out on that.
I'm going to just let you know that I won't be able to get the Hover Shoes.
Someone else can have them then.
These are the Hover Shoes X1. I'm going to need the Hover Shoes XL. You guys have one of those?
That comes later.
So there you go. It is a cool idea, but can we, because I don't know how many times I could tell you, I'm walking around and I think to myself, what I'd like to be able to do is just like hit a button, a switch, something, and suddenly my shoes would magically turn into like rollerblades. Then I could rollerblade where I want to go, and then I would just hit a button and they would disappear. And Heelys aren't it.
That's not it.
I know what they are. No, that's not what I want. I want just wheels that appear and disappear.
Sure.
So if we could work on that 4th dimension technology.
Then you're going to be interested with a higher weight limit than 170-something pounds.
Oh, man. I'm never going to get down below that weight limit. That'll never happen.
Which is why I don't feel like this will take off in America. Let's see. 2018, the Hover Shoes self-balancing, I found them on Alibaba for $500.
I thought they weren't out yet. Is it a pre-order?
This looks like you can start an order, so it's there.
All right, Nikki, why don't you get them and we'll see if, well, we need to find somebody that weighs that much, and then they can tell us if they're fun.
If they like it or not.
The Riot.
All right, pace yourself because you're going to have to do this all day for very little money.
RadioU.
Let's talk about dens of iniquity, terrible blights on our communities. I'm talking about Wawa.
Oh, Wawa. It's a gas station, not everywhere, which is why you're like, what is that? If you've been to one, you know. If you've never been to one, you don't understand.
Dickie and I continue to live in an area where they just don't have a full-service gas station. And by full service, I mean come in and, it's practically an inn. It's a bed and breakfast. It's like they have cafes where you can order food, and it's amazing.
And it's not like a truck stop. It's not like that.
No, it's not.
There's something special about it. There's care.
Though just like there are Wawas that are magical, there are some that are just not.
Yeah, we just don't go to too often. So when you do go there, it is great. It's just a gas station, though. Yes, we understand.
Sheetz is also something like that where you can go in and just... Man, for days,
you
just
can
get
move
what
in.
you're looking for.
They wouldn't even know if you moved in.
Nah,
there's so much going on.
It's too many things happening in there.
Like, remember the one where you went in and there was the milkshake machine and
right there.
the soda machines look like you just stepped into Vegas, and it's the slots. I mean, it's just great.
Over 800 varieties.
Yeah.
You didn't even know they made that many.
In some places you go to now, they judge you if you want a larger size, and they
not there.
embrace it, and they have only the big ones and the buckets.
They're like, hey, you know what? Do you want me to get the dolly? We'll roll it out to your car.
Carry it for you, sir.
It's no problem.
Ma'am. So what about Wawa's?
Well, here's the deal. There is in Newark, New Jersey, there's a neighborhood where they want to put a Wawa.
Yeah.
And the neighborhood is not having it.
Why not?
Do you really want to know? Because I'm going to tell you. They say that it will raise the amount of crime and prostitutes in the area.
It will not.
That is what they say.
Wawa's don't bring that.
They say if you put a 24-hour business, it brings people in and it gives them a meeting place and a location, and all of these things will happen that are not happening right now.
Well, they're probably just not out on the street like at the Wawas.
Well, they're afraid that you're going to give them a place to congregate.
Do they not have any other 24-hour places? Like maybe that town is just smaller and they don't have a lot of 24-hour places?
Apparently they don't. There was a neighborhood meeting, and this is interesting. One of the ladies that's on the opposition, she went in there and she was like, who were all these people supporting Wawa? These are not my neighbors. I don't know who these people are. So she's kind of accusing them of bringing in strike busters or something.
Cheerleaders.
She said they went in and there were people wearing Wawa T-shirts that were so excited about Wawa coming. That feels a little shady. But I wasn't there. I only had this lady on Twitter to know.
We would have been there supporting them, so.
I'd have been like, yeah, bring the donuts, guys.
I'll take a shirt. No problem.
I'm headed to New England later this month, and one of the things I thought was like, oh, yeah, I'm totally stopping at Wawa. That's happening. Because I'll tell you something right now. That's a road trip where all restrictions are off.
And we've never seen anything nefarious going on.
Now, I mean,
but we also haven't been there at night.
I don't think I want to stake my reputation on whether or not crimes are taking place at Wawas around the country.
I get it. If it's a town and they don't have other all-day things, then
it just feels like a tiny bit harsh. Just a little bit. Listen, you bring your Wawa and your crime and your prostitutes and your soft pretzels. Get out of here.
It does seem a bit aggressive.
It does. But in fairness, I don't live in that neighborhood, so I don't know what's going to happen. The lady would rather see them bring in a Trader Joe's.
Okay. Well, talk about what comes in then. Wawa, you want to come in our area. We're just fine. We'll take another place here.
How do you guys feel about gentrification? Look that up. That'll keep you busy for a while.
Wish the worst of the riot would never end?
Everything that has a beginning has an end.
What is wrong with you? Get our daily podcast through iTunes, Google Play, or the RadioU app.
I'm not trying to push Nikki and I's agenda on you, but, it was 2 days ago that Nikki and I started talking about a Christmas room. And it was yesterday.
Fully staffed with presents and Christmas cookies all year long.
I don't know if you guys caught that vision, but Nikki and I, in this future realm where we're very wealthy and we're just looking to create our own microeconomies, Nikki and I would create a Christmas economy there in our own house where there's a room where it's somebody's job to maintain the room and to make sure it's stocked with presents. So if we ever go in there, there are presents waiting for us.
And the Christmas trees are up like it's a Christmas room.
And what if that staff member has to talk about how they think they saw Santa last night?
Every time you go in there?
Yes. They're like, oh, excuse me, sir. I believe Santa stopped by. And you don't have to go to the gift room, but you just know that Santa was there. And if you want to go in there, there's presents waiting for you.
I totally eat my lunch in that room every day.
Every day?
Yeah, with the air conditioning on. Just put your feet up, look at the tree, watch a Christmas show.
You know what? I don't think that's a good idea. Because if they're restocking the Christmas cookies, and you're
you
like,
would know.
You know what? It is Christmas, so I'll just go ahead and have one of these. It's totally fine. No big deal. Right now, I am looking at things that are trending on Twitter. And one of the things trending is hashtag with only 6 months till Christmas. You see that? Now, were Nikki and I ahead of the trends, or did we set the trend? I don't know.
We're on trend.
But that's what people are talking about, and I had to tweet about it. My tweet is as follows. Hashtag with only 6 months till Christmas. We only have 1 month until at RadioU's Christmas in July Christmas channel.
We will be doing a Christmas in July channel. Obi's lying, though. It's a month and a week.
5 weeks.
Hey, people are going to look at what you said, though, and they're going to remind you in 4 weeks when it's not there.
All right.
Why were you lying?
All right, you bunch of ingrates. 1 calendar month.
Okay, because
So
that's what
next
people will do.
calendar month. Technically, is today Wednesday? We are today 4 weeks from the 4th of July. 28 days from today, 4th of July.
And our Christmas in July channel will be starting on July 13th.
And if you're like, well, why can't it be sooner? Well, why don't you do it then?
Okay. Well, no one's saying that. Why
Right.
are you hearing that? It doesn't mean you think, like, it doesn't mean someone's actually saying that.
What?
What if they were listening to the radio? They're like, thank you guys for doing the work and getting ready for Christmas in July.
Yeah, that's the comments we get all the time. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Not hurry up. Where is it?
Give it
I
to me
want
faster.
it now. Give it to me right now.
Why aren't you doing Christmas in June?
Every so often we get a please.
Where's Junemas this year?
We are doing Christmas in July and again July 13th. So you're almost there.
We're getting there, guys.
Just a week.
5 weeks. But you know what? It's practically Christmas.
Almost there.
It's Wednesday, so you're going to get to this Friday and to the weekend, and then to all that family stuff that your parents are making you go to because you're home
And
from
it's gonna be
school,
hot.
and that so-and-so hasn't seen you in a long time. They need to see you too.
When your parents tell you that they haven't seen you in a while and it would just be really nice if you could,
Like,
and you feel guilted
your
into it.
grandparents want to see you. Like, they have to. You have to do that. Don't forget. And your uncles, like, they haven't seen you since Christmas.
This is the only time that you're back.
So just be there this weekend, okay? Like, your family's important too. Like, I'm not saying your friends aren't important, but your family's important
You
too.
got plenty of time for your friends and your games.
And I just feel like I gave myself a huge Christmas guilt trip. I love breaks.
That's the season right there.
The Riot with Obadiah.
Oh, loneliness and cheeseburgers are a dangerous mix.
The Riot with Nikki.
Shut up.
Oh, don't tell me to shut up!
The Riot on Radio U.
This is something you guys don't know. As a staff, we haven't gone out to lunch together very much lately. We've just all been doing our own thing. Well, we've gotten back to the point where we're like, hey, guys, once a week, let's try to make sure
And
that
today's
we're going
the
out,
once a week.
We're going out to lunch.
Today's
So
the day.
Here's what I love is that we're on our second week of, hey, guys, let's make sure we all go out to eat together. And do you know what has been, not only have we not been going out to eat together, but as a result, there is something that's been gone for a long time.
The conflict of
That's
it.
the lunch game. And here's the thing. Picking where we go to lunch is like a card game, but I will tell you, the person who almost always wins that game is the first person to throw down a card.
Yeah.
But in order for it to count, everyone has to see the card. So let's say people are starting to have side conversations about lunch. Like maybe the Riot had a conversation yesterday in which we were like, hey, we should do this for lunch. But
We didn't throw the card down.
No, we didn't throw it down in front of everybody else. Nikki showed me her card, but she didn't show it to everybody else. So now we've got another staff member that's like, take a look at my card. Now I've seen 2 cards, which puts me in a very difficult position because now we start, it's like a game of Survivor. Alliances begin to form.
And there's going to be hurt feelings.
Absolutely.
If and what we decide for lunch.
We're
Because
gonna
it
have
gets
to,
personal.
We're going to have tribal council.
Now, I thought yesterday when we talked about our lunch card, I thought that was a we. We did that. You brought that up, and then I followed along, and we
Okay,
decided
actually,
as a we.
No, that's not true.
That's
Part of it is.
that's how I remember it.
I said I was 100% game for
Yeah.
it, but it was you that started the conversation.
said Chinese
no,
food.
You said tomorrow we need to go have Chinese food.
Yeah, and you picked
And
the
what
place.
did I tell you? You've got to decide early and let people know.
That's a we. If I heard it. I just heard a we. That's what
This is like when we take out the trash.
That's you. That's
Right.
you that does it.
So, like,
I can't touch the dumpster.
We really need to take the trash out. It's very full.
I bring it to the door, but I don't want to touch the dumpster. There was a raccoon in there once.
There was.
And
Eric
sme-
found it.
and it
You
smells.
didn't find it.
Well, I knew he was there.
I heard about it one time.
I heard
Somebody
about it.
told me there was a raccoon there.
I just don't want to go to Michael's choice. That's what I'm saying.
What I'm saying is, like, here's what's going to happen. I got to get us all in a room, and we have to get used to it again.
Yeah,
and
it's conflict.
And I'll tell you what, like, there are instant messages flying around right now about this
About the
conversation.
lunch? I could cry if I need to.
Well, I mean, I think off air you said something like, if we do this, it's a betrayal, and I don't ever want to go again.
I will never go to staff lunch on Wednesdays if I am hurt again this week. Okay.
Just to give you guys an idea of how quickly the stakes can escalate. I mean, it doesn't...
Give me just this one thing.
It doesn't take long for it to go from, I don't know if I want to go there, to, I am tired of the betrayal that happens in here, and I'm out. And guys, we're on week 2.
No, but all the feelings of all lunches before come back. Like, apparently I haven't forgiven.
There is an infection deep in a wound, and we're just ripping it open. This might be why we haven't gone out to lunch in a long time.
This is why. Fine. You guys decide.
And what did I show you yesterday? I showed Nikki this clip from 30 Rock where everybody's screaming at someone who picks where they go to lunch.
And he's like, fine, I pick Subway. And everybody's throwing things at him.
Throwing stuff at him and screaming.
I don't care.
It's worth it.
You're not even going to keep your job, but I don't care. Well, you guys just will keep talking.
Stop.
We'll keep talking.
Do you see what just happened? She said, you guys will just keep talking. She just put it off on me. This is like...
You're the leader.
No. This is like my parents.
You're the lunch leader.
This is like my parents getting divorced, and your mom's like, well, we don't want to put you in the middle, but tell your dad.
But you're in the middle.
Well, I don't want you to be in the middle, but tell your mom. I can't take it. I'm triggered.
Thanks for listening to the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Oh, no! I missed it! Do it again!
You can hear us live every day on the RadioU network through the RadioU app or at riot.radiou.com.
Listen, you bring your Wawa and your crime and your prostitutes and your soft pretzels.